We live. Let's go. Hold on. Not yet. All right, we about to give us a few seconds. Let me go ahead and turn on my phone so I can make sure everything's copacetic. Oh, there we go. All right, go ahead, big homie.
Are we live? We on?
Yes, we is. We live.
Yeah.
What's happening, everybody? I am Big Homie Wayne. This is YFM Sports. You feel me, sports. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is one of the our first lives here together as a complete, cohesive sports group. To my left, I believe it is. I got Jimmy B. Fearless. He's one of the greatest rappers of all time. Is it right? I left.
Who cares, nigga?
Okay, all right. And to my right or to your left, I have the lovely Rita. She is the queen. She is the queen of Rita's effed up stats. You guys gotta when you subscribe to YFM Sports, of course you'll see her. You'll see me as well. It's only built for Wrestling Rinx. I have a new video coming out soon as well. And now we want to get together and speak about week 1 of the NFL. First and foremost, guys, these are some great Dallas Cowboys shirts that we have on. You guys will be able to get them from motoropa.us. All right, that is our site that we sell all of our material on. You guys, please go out there and get a shirt, and we will have other teams. We will have other sports figures as well. Just give us some time, and it'll all be out there, okay? All right. Now we got that all out the way. Let's get right into it. All right, topic number 1, guys, is going to be about the Cowboys, okay? First game, 40-0. Man, that is ridiculous. That just doesn't happen anymore. It just almost seems as if they just went out on the field and just like kind of was like, you guys go ahead, man, score all the points you want to. But what do you guys think, man? That's the number 1 game, the first game of the season. Cowboys, do you think it's going to be a great season, or do you think it's going to be just a fluke season where they had just a one-off game? Or what do you guys think? What do you guys, in your perspective, what do you guys think is going to happen this season to the Dallas Cowboys?
You gonna go first, Jimmy?
Go ahead, Rita. You go first.
I think it's gonna be a fluke.
You know what? I do too. Yeah.
Because they remind me of I know that their arch rivals, their arch nemesis is the Eagles, but like the similarity between these two rivals is that they both fuck up. So like they'll make it all the way to the championship and fuck up, or they'll make it all the way to the bowl and fuck up, or they'll just make it barely and fuck up. So I don't put my faith in them at all. I mean, I don't like them. I never have. And I hate the Eagles as well. So it is what it is. I think they're going to probably be 10-7, maybe 11-8. But yeah, I just don't see it. Sorry.
All right. Yeah.
What you think, bro?
So I feel like they're gonna go 12-5. I do not think that this season is a fluke at all. So they're a Super Bowl team, in my opinion. They're a Super Bowl contending team. Go ahead, big homie.
Do you think that? So do you think they're going to have more 40 plus point games this season?
Yes. I think that they're gonna have more 40-point blowouts. Probably might get a little bit worse. They might have a 48-point game, and this is the reason why. The defense. They have the second or third or maybe first best defense in the league. It's them, the 49ers, and Eagles. So kind of the Eagles. The Eagles defense is a little messed up now because they had a lot of injuries, but Dallas is right up there. Dallas has an incredible defensive line, but their defensive backs is something else. With Diggs and Gilmore, it's a problem. The offense has the ability to run, but they also had the ability to do a lot of RPOs because of Dak Prescott. They could do run play options. They could do play action. And when you have that dynamic where you can run the ball or pass the ball and the defense don't know on the opposing side, you can put up a lot of points. So the defense, I think that each game they can get either a strip sack, a sack fumble, or interception. That's going to lead to easy points for the offense, which means they're going to put up big points all year. I think the Dallas Cowboys going to Super Bowl. This is the year. If they can get past the 49ers in the playoffs, they're going to the bowl. This is not a fluke. This is an elite team that's been built over years. This is going to be a special team. Big homie, what you think? looking at me
Okay.
sideways.
So look, yeah. So I got to be the one to throw the bullshit in there. So we've all seen the picture with Dak and his lady. Do you not kind of see a
I'm pretty sure it's not his broad. I'm pretty sure it's a fan.
Yeah, right. right. But do you not kind of see a pink Romo jersey moment happening?
Yeah, it could definitely happen. That's the thing. What can go wrong will go wrong. That's what Stephen A. Smith always says, right? But that's not really sports, right? The sports gods, they reward you when you build a team the right way. And the Cowboys have made it to the playoffs and they keep fucking up. So, I feel like they're going to build it the right way. But Rita, you think this is a fluke. Why do you think this is a fluke? Is it the hate in your heart for them? Or is this based off of something?
Pretty much. And plus, I just can't get outside of the fact that he had like the highest number of interceptions last year, I think, across the board. And out of every quarterback. And I don't know. I mean, I just feel like maybe just out of the blue, a bear is going to run on the field and bite his fucking leg off. I don't know. It's just like I don't have that faith in them.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I understand that they have a history of fucking up. Yeah, always.
I can't go past that.
But the NFC is weak. Rodgers is gone. Go ahead, big homie.
I'm still on the whole. Rodgers is gone now, so they may kind of open up for them, help them out a little bit. But I always feel like this is just the first game, and I still think that has a lot to do with it, with all of our teams, all of these teams, And so yes, 40-0 was absolutely spectacular. It wasn't nobody
against the playoff team. Against a playoff team, they fucked them up bad.
That good though. They're not that good.
Last year though,
but also you have Mahomes. You lost first game,
but that was a close game. That was a close game.
That's fine, but a loss is a loss. And now we're going to speak on Jalen Hurts a little later as well. And now you compare that to Jalen, and people are saying like that's a close game. He should have done a lot more after getting his extension, but he still won. You have my homeboy, and he lost. You know what I mean? So, I mean, is it just like first week jitters? It's the first week. It doesn't count. Or can you still make that excuse that it's just the first game?
Me personally, I think that the Detroit Lions is one of the elite teams in the NFL. You saw it last year. They won 8 of their last 10 games. They started off terrible. They were one of the worst teams because the defense, they couldn't figure it out. But once they figured out that defense and the defensive back and being able to stop big passes, they became one of the better teams in the NFL. So them losing to the Chiefs, that is kind of a fluke game. And the reason why is because Detroit was so hyped up and they playing the Super Bowl champions on ring ceremony night. They was like, yo, we're going to fucking kill these motherfuckers. That's how it was. And that's what happened.
They're going to keep that same energy probably on every game. For real. They got like, they have nothing to lose. They already been like the worst team in the NFL. Damn rounds for like the past 10 years. So they're going to go hard. And plus the coach, I like the coach for the Lions. I'm not a fan of the Lions, but I like the coach of the Lions. Like he's fucking incredible. He's a beast.
He's made for the Detroit Lions
team. Like, it's going to be a fucking wrap. So I don't know. I semi agree with you that they may be that elite squad.
Detroit. I think, like I said, though, I don't think, to answer Big Homie Wayne's question, bro, the Cowboys are not a fluke. Please believe that, I have them projected, like I said, to go 12-5. I think they're going to win the NFC East this year. But the NFC East goes Eagles, Cowboys, sometimes the Giants, sometimes the Redskins. It switches every fucking year. Every year it switches. But this year is going to be the Cowboys. Cowboys going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be in the Super Bowl. Mark my words. That's my bet.
All right, that's a bet, man. Let's move on to the next one. We're going to get into it. Everybody's already given their opinion on it and their heartfelt opinion on it. We know we all watched the game on Monday, and we all saw Aaron Rodgers run out on the field with the flag on 9/11. And, it was just such a great and powerful moment, and only for him to only have 4 snaps, I think. And he tears his Achilles. That absolutely destroyed the whole league, not just New York, not just the Jets. It was just such a hard watch, and it was just so tough because everybody just wanted to know and wanted to see what Rodgers was going to do for the Jets, But we want to give our opinion as well. Guys, how do y'all feel about Aaron Rodgers? How do y'all feel about his season Achilles injury, his season ending, excuse me. How do you guys feel about that? Were you upset? Is it just, this is just what happens? And then also what I want to talk about is how do you guys feel about this, it being blamed on the turf on the fields?
You first, Rita.
I didn't even know it was blamed on the turf. I didn't even know that was a thing. But I mean, poor thing. Like, I guess he's like trying to live the same legacy as Brett Favre. But Brett Favre was like 80 years old when he finally retired. And I don't think you should actually go that far. Like, for real. And I think he's trying to like hold out to get a ring. I think he said he was going to retire at 45, but isn't he like 44? I don't know. Sarita's fucked up stats.
No,
so anyway,
yeah,
39.
Okay, he's pushing 50. Like, get the fuck off the field. Okay, so this is a season-ending injury, but motherfuckers bounce back off the ACL injury all the time.
Young people.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, they got excellent medical coverage. So, I mean, go ahead and put a robotic ankle in there and get this motherfucker back on the field. But I don't know. Like, should he retire? I don't think he should retire. But I think he should probably come back one more year, and then that's it. It's a wrap. But, it is just devastating, and he's in our prayers.
So, Phyllis, what do you think?
Me personally, I feel that he'll be back next year, but this destroys one of the best storylines of the year. I had the New York Jets going, let me see what I projected them to be. I can't remember. It was up there, though. I had them going 13-4. I had them winning 13 games. That is going to be my major blunder. It's going to mess up my whole projections for the whole year. I thought that they were going to go like 2-4 the first 6 weeks because they play like the Chiefs. They play like the Bengals. They have a really hard schedule, like dead serious. But after that, I thought the team would gel. They'll get the offense figured out. The offensive line will improve, and then the team would just roll and then roll into the playoffs. This, for the Jets, is over, basically, right? They got Zach Wilson. He's one of the worst quarterbacks that we've seen that's been drafted at his position in years. He was 2. He got drafted 2. And he was he's horrible. Like, he's not good. He threw a terrible interception. He ran 25 yards to try to not get sacked. He ran 25 yards the opposite way. So for Aaron Rodgers to bring it back to him, it's sad. I feel like he should come back next year. He's going to be stronger. He said that he might be back for the playoffs. He will, if he did that, he would basically shave off 6 months of his recovery if he came back by the playoffs. If he does that and the Jets make it, we're going to see a miracle. But my opinion is that he's not dead yet. He has a couple more years left. He won the MVP 2 years ago. He's still a hell of a talent. His arm is still live. And this Achilles injury, it can happen to anybody. It's easy. It happens to athletes. It's happened to Skip Bayless a whole bunch of times. It's happened to everybody. It happened to people that are on the couch. The motherfucker get up, shit just fall apart. So he gonna be okay. This is not the end. But to Rita's point, he is old as a motherfucker, and he should be under the grave. But he's a quarterback. So quarterbacks, they cannot get hit. And he barely got hit in that play when he got injured. So,
and he doesn't have a ring yet, right? I think that's what he's holding out for.
No, he has a ring.
He does. Yeah, he does.
Yeah. He got 1, and he should have 5 like Tommy. You know what I'm saying? Or like, Tommy got like 6 or whatever, 7. So he should have more because of his talent level. But what can you do?
It may be time for him to retire. And I feel that way not because he's not elite or great, but because I'm afraid that he's going to try too hard and end up injuring himself even more. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because he is age, you do have to factor in age. Like, not everybody can be LeBron James. Not everybody can just have like that mutant league regeneration body type shit, and you could just go to sleep and be back at 100%. You know what I mean? Not everybody has that, and I'm really afraid I don't know. It's like when I see LeBron, I see eliteness. When I look at Rodgers, I know how great he is. When I look at Rodgers, though, I just see like a regular country dude. You know what I mean? And he's going to try to push himself way too hard to like you say, try to make it to the playoffs, and it's going to make it even worse. And I don't think that's something that he should do. I do not think that, I'm afraid he might do something that may tarnish his legacy. Because if anybody has a heart, you would understand that this doesn't make or break everything that Rodgers has done on the field in his entire career. This was just an absolute ridiculous accident, but I don't want him to go out there and do something and end up, just hurting himself even more,
Right.
So he may have to wait until next year. I don't know. Maybe it is time to wrap it up. As far as the QB on the team right now, I heard a lot of people talking. Every time something like this happens, a QB goes down, everybody starts talking about Kaepernick. I don't think that's a good idea either. I don't think the world is ready for Kaepernick.
No.
I think Cap is too old. I think Cap is too old. You know what I mean? It would be more. It would make more sense to bring back Tom Brady and get him out of retirement and put him on the Jets rather than Cap. But. Just let them finish out the season, however the hell they finish out. If they can find somebody, then let them find somebody. But as far as Rodgers goes, I think he may need to sit down and think about what he wants to do next rather than trying to come back bigger, better, and stronger than ever, because you are not the bionic man, my nigga. Like, straight up, So okay. But we'll move along. We spent enough time on that. We'll move along. And
and the turf is one of the reasons why, by the way.
Okay. Now, Phyllis, could you possibly speak on any about the turf and why it could be the reason why?
Why was it the turf? What the fuck?
All right. So there's artificial turf, right? There's some, like, only a few NFL stadiums have, and then there's, I read it, they be like AstroTurf. That's like AstroTurf, right?
Yeah.
That's what that is, that turf. And then there's like grass, which a lot of teams play on.
Mm-hmm.
Baker Mayfield said something interesting when he was asked about it in the press conference, because he got injured on artificial turf before. He said that the big guys, like the offensive linemen, when they go and they play on artificial turf, the day after, all of their like knees and joints are sore.
Really?
Because the way that you stand as an offensive lineman, the way your foot placement is, it causes you to have issues because you're not stepping on true grass. It's just the way that the grass is formulated and how it works on your joints and your bones and your knees that are bent. It causes issues for you to have swelling and soreness. Anything like that, and the amount of injuries that have happened that they have tracked on artificial turf, it should just be replaced. If the players like playing on grass, even if it's a mental thing, even if it's psychological, if the players like playing on grass, just make fucking grass. But the NFL owners, including the New York Jets owner, are all cheap bastards, and they don't give a fuck until something like this happened. So the NFLPA, they are pushing to make it mandated in the bylaws that you have grass. Fucking grass. See, that's the thing. When the grass get wet, the grass gets snowy and shit like that, artificial turf is like easier to clean up and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what all this is about. You don't have to replace all that shit all the time. You can just, you got to replace grass, and motherfuckers is cheap. That's what all this is about. It's about money. Hardcore cash. That's all it's about. So NFL players keep getting injured on that shit. You had one of the best, the GOATs, get injured. He's out for the year. That fucked up the NFL season. That was the most watched Monday Night Football game in years, and that was the first thing we saw. Man, they need to get it off. It's unsafe. It is unsafe for the players. That's what this is all about.
They made moves and changed the helmets. How come you can't change the grass?
Thank you.
You need AI to tell you that, motherfucker?
I need ChatGPT.
Wait, hey, hold on. I heard the helmets was coming out of the players' pockets. Is that not true?
No, that's not true.
No? Okay.
Not that. I've never heard that. If you got something to back that up, we can have another conversation about that again, because that would be some of the most disgusting shit I've ever heard. But in Jackson State, that kind of did happen a little bit, but Deion kind of solved that problem.
I mean, even for like the specialty helmets, though, right? Because I'm sure they'll give you whatever the fuck kind of helmet. But if you want one of those save your life kind of helmets, then this.
Nah, to save your life helmets, because the NFL got sued for that. So yeah, the NFL should be paying for that, from my understanding.
Okay.
But you
Right.
don't never know. Motherfuckers be cheap. And by the way, Arizona Cardinals, if y'all didn't notice, the Arizona Cardinals, they make their players pay for takeaway boxes. So you know how like they have like team dinners and like team lunch. They have the facility, right? Like they have the cafeteria after you practice and shit. You go eat, team dinner, team lunch, or whatever. If you want to do takeout, you got to pay for it.
The whole dinner.
You know how you go to a buffet and they be like, "Yo, if you want to take some shit home, you got to pay for this." It's a separate charge and just taking it.
Oh yeah. We understand. We get it.
You with me?
We just don't.
Yeah. You have to pay.
Or the plastic? I mean, are they plastic?
No, nigga, the food. Nigga, the food.
Oh! I'm like, I thought you said pay for the container. I was like,
no. You got to pay for the food. You got to pay for the food. Sorry. Well, if you want to take food out of the facility that you got from the facility, you got to pay for it.
That's fair. I mean, we already.
No, it is not.
It's not. No, it is not. Yeah.
Pounds and 7 feet tall, and your ass want an extra steak. Fuck out of here.
Rita, if you was at your job thou not shall be named. If you was at your job and you had pizza day, and you was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go ahead and take a few slices to the Chris head," and it was like, "Yeah, that's gonna be $18." You gonna fucking throw the bitches in the fucking air and walk out.
I wouldn't do that anyway because I get heartburn from pizza, so fuck it.
You see how people are, Big Homie Wayne. Yeah. You see how they are.
Yeah.
You see how humans are. Wayne,
she understood. She understood what you're saying.
She knows the fuck I'm talking about.
I don't like pizza.
I thought you were saying they had to pay for containers. I was like, so have never mind. Moving on.
My point is that Arizona Cardinals is a terrible facility, and NFL owners, even though they're billionaires, they're still cheap as shit. That's why one of the reasons why Aaron Rodgers got fucked up, because he couldn't. If it was grass, he could have slid on that fucking plastic. You know what I mean? That shit's hard. Like, imagine sliding on plastic. It's going to, you get. It's just difficult. So yeah.
Hilarious. Okay, now we can move it on, guys. So another topic I want to bring up is prime time. Deion Sanders, Coach Prime over there in Colorado with the Colorado Buffaloes. Man, he is revamping college football in a big, major, huge way. College football was always the thing. But now Coach Prime didn't made it the only thing that's being spoken about in the entire world right now. I have a question for both of y'all. Why is everybody so happy and excited about Deion Sanders winning in Colorado? Like, why is this such a big and major deal to everyone? And I'm going to think of it this way. This is the way I thought of it. And I hope I don't sound like a hater because Deion Sanders is my favorite. Is my favorite athlete of all time. I love him to death. I have nothing negative to say about him except for kind of how he came into the game, came into coaching, if you will. But Deion, I think he's absolutely wonderful. But I kind of liken it to OJ and when OJ got off. You know what I mean? So it's like black people were so happy when OJ got off. Black people are so happy that Deion is winning now, and I'm like, what the fuck is everybody so excited for? What is everybody so happy for? Like, he's winning, that's great, but it's like people are just like, oh my God, Deion he's killing these jive turkeys over here. And he beat Nebraska. And don't get me wrong, there's human beings on that team, but it's just like, it's Nebraska, my nigga. And of course he's going to beat them. So my question is just like, how is this just the biggest thing in the entire world right now? Deion winning. We're all so excited. What do y'all think? Fearless, I'm going to go with you first, man.
Yeah, I think you're a hater, man. I think you're a plum fucking hater. I don't know what else to say.
I already said I wasn't. I already said I wasn't.
You not be so excited for Deion Sanders.
Time out. This is what I'm talking about. All right. This is like when you meet somebody, when you be like I don't know, somebody that you look up to, and they start talking that talk, and you're just like, yes,
Never
I know.
meet your
It's
idol.
just like
Never
that.
meet your idol.
You know,
Yeah.
my thing is just like, I'm not saying you can't be happy. I'm not saying don't be happy. I'm not saying I'm not happy. I'm just saying, why is everybody just so excited about Deion winning? Like,
Let me answer.
happened?
Let me answer the
Yeah.
question. Let me answer the question. Okay. So first of all, like you mentioned, you know, he is an African American coach. We've had those in the past. That's not a big thing, right? It's great when it happens because it rarely happens, but it's not like something that is like unprecedented. What it is that we never had a coach that was like us, right? That like talked that talk, that wore Versace glasses, that had on Gucci, that drove nice cars, that like talked in his, he had his talk. You know what I mean? That he'll talk that shit to you if you're gonna talk it to him. But also that's a stand-up guy. You know, we've never had a dude that reflects urban culture as a head coach in this position. That's one. For two, the reason why everybody's excited is because Colorado won one game last year. They was 1-13.
Yeah. I think 1-11.
So,
Let me check.
Maybe, I'm sorry, you might be right,
check.
because it might be 1-11. So they already surpassed that. Already. So either way, he's winning.
And then to jump in real quick, they surpassed that score. I was watching them on ESPN yesterday. The tickets now, just 2 wins, and with Deion, the tickets are now at like $569. I think they said.
100.
That's how much they boosted them tickets up. Yes,
Not like,
$569 for a ticket.
No, $569. When last year they couldn't give them away at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So they had the biggest. I believe they had one of the biggest. Sorry, their game last week against Nebraska was watched more than certain NFL games. That does not happen in college football, period. And you know that Alabama and Texas played last week. Ain't nobody give a fuck. Everybody watched that. I watched the Colorado game, bro. I don't even watch college sports. I watched that Colorado game just to see what Deion was going to do. Also, you got to think about this. Deion is the only coach that I know that if you talk shit to him, he's going to be like, oh, we're going to talk shit to you back. And it ain't just him. It's the whole squad. The whole team is gangster. You don't see this. And he's on ESPN. He's on Rich Eisen show, which is my favorite show. He's on the Rich Eisen show. He on fucking Pat McAfee show talking that shit. And he is so interesting and charismatic. That's really what it is. He's a charismatic figure, and he's been that way for 40 years. And now he's in college football. And he told y'all when he was in Jackson State what he was going to do. He said he's going to change the whole college football situation. And that's what he's doing. And everyone is so interested in the story. But I want to just say one more thing before I give it over to Rita. They ain't going to win out. They play some real teams. They were unranked. I got them
right here. I'm going to talk about that too.
Yeah, they were unranked coming into this season, y'all. They were unranked.
Wow.
Now they number 18. That's an incredible feat. But they got to play Bo Nix in Oregon. They ain't winning that game. They got to play USC and Caleb Williams. They ain't and Lincoln Riley. They're not winning that game. But if they can compete with this bitch ass, sorry ass team that they got, because their team is sorry. I'm just being honest. They don't have a lot of good players. Like, they're young. If they can compete with them big boys next year and the year after, Colorado's going to be a force. And then you're going to see Deion get another job. He's going to go to like LSU or some shit, like a big team, or like Florida State or some shit, a real big team. Because, and I'm just letting y'all know, Colorado historically is one of the worst college football teams in history. And he's turned it around that quick. That's why this is, in my opinion, this is so important. But Rita, what do you think?
And plus, like, he just bringing that celebrity sauce. It's like a fucking reality TV show now.
Yes, it is.
I honestly wasn't all like, yay, he went. Like, I mean, I follow Deion from the fucking Aflac commercials. That's about it, my nigga. Like, I didn't really like pay attention to the whole thing. Plus, I'm not really like a college football fan. I don't watch all the games. I don't watch none of the games, all that shit. It just tears up. Like, my TV's flooded with it on Saturday. I'd rather watch The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. But anyway, but I mean, yeah, he's bringing the celebrity sauce. He's bringing that pizzazz, that panache to the fucking game. So I guess that's why everybody's like psyched. And then of course, Black excellence. So it is what it is. I don't even know how many Black coaches are in college football level. If there are any, unless they're like defensive coaches or whatever, it's like not a lot of like head coaches. So that's the other thing too. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't really stoked about it. Not necessarily saying that I'm not happy, but I just learned a whole lot from y'all. So, so that's my thing. Like he's just bringing that celebrity sauce, and it's like a reality TV show. I'm hoping that they don't do an actual reality TV show. Like Mona Scott, chill. Don't even fuck with them, okay?
They got one.
They are, yeah.
So
it's coming.
There you go.
The oldest Sanders son, he is a social media maverick. He's not into football like his brothers and shit, but he's a social media maverick. So he's already pushing out that social media platform. Which Rita, the Colorado did not have none of that shit, dog. They didn't have a YouTube page like that. So you're right. He's bringing all of that sauce. He's bringing the social media sauce. He's bringing the celebrity sauce. Then he got his son looking like a fucking Heisman Trophy candidate. Man, this shit is lit.
It's like honestly, it's like a big ass movie and it's a big fucking party. So we're gonna see where it leads at from the record standpoint. Because when it goes down to playing like Alabama and fucking Georgia and
they're
not gonna play them, but they're gonna play
Mongoid big country boys. We'll see.
They're not gonna play them, but they are gonna play like Oregon, USC, some real teams. They're not going because they're not in the Alabama conference, but they're gonna play some motherfuckers.
Are they like? Are they still
Pac-10? They're Pac-10, I think. Pac-12. Pac-12.
Okay.
And then that's another question. Why not try for the SEC? That's where the real competition is.
They're moving. They're moving in 2 years.
They're probably going to be there next year.
I think they're moving in 2 years. To move, it's a whole big thing. So I think they're moving in 2 years. Yeah, the Pac-10, Pac-12. A lot of Pac-12 teams are moving to the SEC. Yep. So,
like UT just got into I think the Pac-12 or the Pac-10.
It's one of those. It's happening something like that. Yeah.
And they actually beat Alabama last week. Texas won.
Texas beat Alabama last week.
Yeah, which was unheard of. That shit was all over the news over here, honey.
Yep. Yes, it was. I bet it was. Yep. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, big homie. You have some follow-up questions?
Yeah. Actually, I have a follow-up question, but I also have an answer to the question that I asked. And you kind of already said it a little bit, Fearless. Mine is I was watching him on ESPN yesterday, and he's just so remarkably positive. Like I just sit here and I listen to him and I'm just like, we talked about like how he almost lost his life and how he lost a couple of toes and all these other things that's happened to him, and I just watching him. He has like this natural this like natural / superstar aura around him. You know what I mean? And you can't quite put your finger on it, but it's like he knows his superstardom and he lives in it, but it's not overly done to where like if you saw him on the street, you would be like, yo, what's up, Deion? How you doing? Can I take a pic? And then even be like, yo, this nigga's walking on the street, because he got so much love that you don't really, you know what I mean? Like, so I totally get it. And his son, Shador, he has the exact same energy around him. He was great. I watched him yesterday as well. He was wonderful. So it's just really good to see, somebody that you grew up watching, that is great, that is wonderful, try something new, try something different, and then him just push forward, and then the whole world just grasp a hold of him. Although I haven't seen a whole lot of the others say anything too great and positive, about him either. But it's mostly us. It's mostly us that's boosting them. But that's to be expected.
Well, didn't somebody say something slick though? So talking about wearing my hat and glasses and all that.
Yeah, that's actually another minority coach.
I like that until I saw the video. When I saw the video, I was like, see, now, he meant that shit. I thought that was just like some shit he said to like get more viewers or to get, maybe the team more riled up, his team or something like that. But when I watched the video, like he was like, man, when I do it and I take my hat off my glasses, and I'm like he was serious, like for real. And I'm like, yo, okay, so now you want the smoke, my nigga. Now it's gonna be a problem for him. It's gonna be a problem.
Jimmy, I think you fell off, baby.
Oh yeah, he didn't knocked out. He'll be back.
Yep, keep it going. Keep it going.
Okay. Yeah, but I saw that comment and I was like, what the fuck you mean by that? I didn't look at the video though, but the excuse that he did put was that, oh, I was just saying it to get the team riled up. I think that's the excuse that he said. But I was like, somebody always trying to talk slick, but you can't
always. But my thing is this.
But if anything, you help them. Like you help him. Like
there's always a way that they find out. They always find a way to call us a nigger without saying nigger.
You know it.
Always. And this was the shit right here. Like you're implying that his mother didn't teach him any manners. I watched his son. His son got all the manners in the world, so he must have learned it from somewhere. Now you talking about like I'll take my hat and hold. I'm like, yo, you for real calling this dude like the N-word low key, you know? Yeah. But yeah, I love it for Deion. I think it's great. But I do think that, he may, use this opportunity to go to somewhere else eventually down the line.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to talk about the competition that he has for the rest of the season. I don't know if Fearless is, I think he may be still getting things set up over there.
Yeah.
But,
there you go.
All right. Just the time. I also wanted to talk about Fearless, the competition that he has for the rest of the season. What are y'all thoughts on that? He has Colorado tonight, Colorado State tonight. Then after that, there's Oregon. And,
that's a problem.
Yeah, it's a done deal. It's a done deal for them, right? They know going in that they're going to get fucked up.
Yeah.
Then you got Oregon after that. So how you feel about them in Oregon?
I mean, Oregon, if they beat or get close to beating Oregon, it's a win to me. Obviously, if they beat them, but if they get close, they lose by a touchdown or less, that is a major win. That is a major win because they should get shellacked because Oregon has a real NFL ready quarterback, Bo Nix. That's a team. Oregon is a top 10 team for a fucking reason. So that's going to be a hard game, bro. That's going to be a hard one. Mm-hmm. And that team been together for a long time. They don't have 28 transfers. That's the thing. This team got 28 transfers. That means those boys wasn't there for 2 years. This is a whole new coaching staff. This is not right. This is not you struggle your first year with a new team. That's why everybody's hyped too. So yeah, go ahead. I mean, I think that's a lot for them. They're gonna lose that game.
Okay. And then one more. I don't want to go through the whole season, but let's do one more because right after that they got USC. Man, how we feel about that?
That might be an embarrassment. That might be an embarrassment.
Damn, really?
Yeah, that might slow the train where people they stop being on national media for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The story is going to change. And Colin Cowherd, he talked about that. He said that this right now is Linsanity. And that's kind of what it feels like, right? Y'all remember Linsanity?
Yes,
when Linsanity was up there, Rita, he was dropped the Chinese basketball player. Anthony got injured and he started scoring like 45 points a game and shit.
Yeah.
And it changed. Everybody's like, oh my God, yo, this dude. And he got a big contract from the Rockets and shit like that.
Yeah.
But like when he got his actual opportunity to play consistent minutes, he was a 12-point a game guy, 10-point a game guy. That's what this is going to be like. Because when they start playing real teams, you're going to really see the difference. You're going to see the difference. And this is the one key thing y'all going to see. It's not going to be Shakur or the Sanders Shador. It's not going to be Shador. It's not going to be Travis Hunter that's going to have bad games. It's going to be the offensive and defensive line. That's going to be the difference. Like Sarita said, when you see them 350-pound big white boys from the fucking farm, they don't want to get coached by no nigga. They gonna fuck somebody up. That's what's going on.
Oh, Big Brock. Big Brock Lesnar ass niggas, man.
Yes, man. Big Brock Lesnar ass motherfuckers with a fucking sword tattooed right down his fucking huge Viking sword. Got the Viking sword. People call people meatballs. It's gonna be a problem. So yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this because I think this is a interesting aspect.
Yeah. We definitely gonna keep an eye on it. Because I want to know are you still gonna be down once or if that happens,
Exactly.
I am. You know what I'm saying? But I think that the fair weather fans are going to disappear because you know how motherfuckers is. They for one they don't stick to a story for long enough. They always in and out of the stories for one. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers that's how it is. And then for two, It's like, this is college football. People ain't loyal unless you want there. And none of us want the fucking Colorado State or Colorado. That's not our alma mater. We're only watching this shit because of him. As soon as they start losing, they're not gonna be interested. So that's my take on that.
Gotcha.
And sorry, y'all. Previously, I'm trying to get my camera together. You know, shit be dying over here. But go ahead.
No, it's all right. It's all right. We're gonna flip the topic again. We're gonna go to talk about Jalen Hulu has live sports. Jalen Hurts. He's already played. I love it, dog.
You're like a black giver.
He hasn't gone over those 400 yards that everybody wants him to have just yet. So everybody's saying that he doesn't deserve the contract extension. So my question is, what do you guys think? How do y'all feel? He has the 5-year, $225 million extension. I think he's an elite QB. I think that he's one of the winners of this week, and I don't know. I think he has a great upside. And if I got a quick stat on him real quick, they're saying that he went out 19 out of his last 20 regular season starts. So, that's kind of important. I think that's something to be looked at, So, but what do you guys think? Excuse me. I'm gonna start with you. How do you feel about how the community has been kind of picking on Jalen Hulu has live sports as of late, man? Do you think that he's just he don't deserve the contract? Do you think he's going to have a great season this year?
I have to say this first. No. I am not a fan of the Eagles.
We know this.
Okay.
I just want to make this clear. However, fucking right. Like, this contract is the fucking truth. Okay? I don't know what these hating ass motherfuckers is talking about. So the fuck what? It's 5 years, 225 or whatever the fuck the number is. It's the number one contract ever.
It was. It's the
ever.
Second.
Let's get that fucking straight. He's a black man. He looked like the Joker in that picture, but he's a black man. His fucking agent is Nicole Lynn. She's a black woman holding it the fuck down in these streets, okay? In a male-dominated industry. How dare you? How dare you? She got this motherfucker the number one contract ever in a fucking football history. Mm-hmm. Show some fucking respect. Now, they made it to the bowl. They lost, though.
Yep.
I think. I can't remember.
It's okay. That's okay. Yeah, they lost.
Fuck them on that. They're a good ass team. I hate to admit it. They all right. They know how to get it together. They got the new offensive and defensive and all that bullshit. They're a decent team. I'll give them that. Are they going to make it to the bowl this year? I don't think so. I can't even bring my heart to say that. But don't fucking hate this dude for getting the number one contract ever by a woman in a male-dominated industry, in a white male-dominated industry. This is black excellence that's unfathomable. Like, fuck that. I love that he has $225 million fucking dollars. Fuck y'all. And then this is the thing, because Eagles love doing this shit. These motherfuckers will trade your ass after you won a Super Bowl. Guess what? He's not getting traded. It's like an 8-year trade. It's a trade clause, which they've never done. They've never done that. So it don't matter if he gets his eye plucked out by a bald eagle on the field, if he tears his ACL, if he fucking breaks his back, if he does anything that any fucking person that ever got hurt, he stays there. He's not getting fucking traded, and he's still getting his bread. What's the problem? Shut the fuck up. What's the problem?
His problem is he's a goody two shoes, and he doesn't get into any trouble, and he just kind of flies under the radar. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
But I mean, Philly is lit. Why don't you focus on all the murders over there instead of focusing on fucking him? Why don't you fight the fucking Philly, my nigga? Fuck that. Don't worry about him. At least he's positive and doing his fucking thing. Like, for real. Like, leave him alone. Leave his agent alone. This is black excellence. Fuck that.
Is it my turn?
Phyllis, yes, Phyllis. What do you believe? What do you think?
That's great, Rita. I appreciate that. You right. Black excellent, all that, whatever the word is today.
Excellent.
Excellence. Black excellence. Shout out to the African Americans. All right. On all seriousness, no. There is an issue that I do see with Jalen Hurts. It's the same thing that's going on with Josh Allen. You change the offensive coordinator and you look like a different fucking player. You don't make the same decisions. There was a play in the first half when he threw an interception in the game where he was staring down skinny back man. His name is Smith. He's wide receiver, number 6. He was staring him down, but if in the slot you can see AJ Brown was single covered and he had his man beat. He threw that pass, got intercepted into double coverage instead of throwing it over the top. Now, you might say, well, shit, that was just a mistake. Well, he only had 5 interceptions last year.
Right.
When you change offensive coordinators due to success, it causes the team to regress unless that offensive coordinator is excellent. Jalen Rose is going to struggle this year. And the reason why is because he has a history of doing this type of shit. Case in point, Alabama. He started in Alabama. Then he lost his fucking job to Tua. In the motherfucking final. Then he lost his job to Tua during the national championship because he was struggling. And then Tua took his job the next year. So Jalen Hurts, he went to Oklahoma. He had an amazing year. Then he got drafted. This dude, he has not proved that he is consistently consistent. And the NFL game is about 2 things. It's about consistency and availability. Because he had an offensive coordinator change, he is not consistent. Because he is not connecting with AJ Brown, he is not consistent. And right now, if AJ Brown turned his back on him, Jalen Hurts is fucked. And like Rita said, he has a short leash. The Eagles don't play that fucking shit. Howie Roseman, their GM, he don't play that shit. He will pay you and get rid of your ass. So Jalen, I know they're 2-0. You know, I said it in my short earlier this week, right? I said, Eagles fans, chill the fuck out because y'all have an elite defense. Y'all have the best offensive line in the league. Chill. But if he doesn't show something in the next 6 weeks, it's going to be a problem because this is a Super Bowl caliber team. They're talking about NFC championships or bust. So he got his money. That's great. But that don't mean that he's always going to be a Philadelphia Eagle if he plays like shit. So the contract, it was worth it.
They can't trade him.
Yes, they can. They can trade anybody. They can cut anybody.
In there. That's what I'm saying.
Carson Wentz had a no trade clause. You see where his ass went.
Oh, no, they said this is the first time they had a no trade clause.
That's not true at all. That's not true.
Look,
That's not true.
Google
but here's the thing, though. But
no trade clause, you can still get traded. Sorry, Deshaun Watson, he had a no trade clause. That's the reason why he picked where he went. The only thing a no trade clause do is determine where a player can't get traded to. Not that his ass can't get traded.
He can be out. Yeah,
exactly. So like if they say, yo, Jalen, you sucking this year, we're going to trade you. We're going in a different direction. We're going to trade you to the Arizona Cardinals. He could be like, fuck y'all, I ain't going there. And they're going to be like, all right, we got to find another trade partner. That's the reason why the Houston Texans traded Deshaun Watson to Cleveland. Because they was trying to trade him to the Atlanta Falcons, and he said, no, I want to go to Cleveland because they're going to offer me a guaranteed contract. And that's why he got traded up there.
So he can basically say, okay, well, y'all giving me $225. If y'all want to get rid of me, you want to find me another team that's going to give me $225.
It won't be like that. They'll only take off a certain amount of the contract. It's cap space each year. So he might have a cap hit of $55 million. But after 1 year, they eat that shit, and that cap hit is gone. They can start over.
I think the cap is 167.
And I know we get deep into this, Jalen, or big homie Wayne. I'm sorry about this, but this is a little bit of NFL history, for y'all. The reason why Jalen Hurts played last year is because of Carson Wentz.
Right.
They gave Carson Wentz a big contract, and then they decided to go with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was a rookie, so he was on his rookie deal. So they had to eat the money last year on Carson Wentz. But they didn't have to eat the money on Jalen because Jalen was getting paid like $350,000 last year because he was on a rookie deal. You see what I'm saying? So if they get rid of Jalen, he plays like shit the next 2 years. They can just do the same thing again. They'll have cap hit for 1 year, and then they can go in a different direction with a rookie quarterback. That's how these NFL teams get away with the no trade bullshit. I think Jalen Hurts is fine. He ain't going nowhere. But I'm just saying, this is a production league. His ass better snap. Certainly when he's getting all that money.
Well, and I don't think they need to be arguing on the fucking sideline either.
That's
true
diva
too.
receivers.
That's
diva receivers.
Yeah.
Diva receivers, that's how they are, man. That's how diva receivers are, y'all. That's how AJ Brown is going to cuss and fucking go crazy. He cussed out Tannehill. He cussing out the coach. He gonna cuss out everybody. That's how diva receivers are. But you see what that boy produces on the field. So you got to deal with that shit. It's a shame. But remember Randy Moss? Do y'all remember Terrell Owens doing push-ups in the fucking push-ups? He was with the Eagles. They gonna bug out. I know it sucks, but they gonna bug out. But the Eagles are gonna be in the playoffs. They're gonna be one of the best teams in the NFL this year. It's not a problem, but it's going to take Jalen Hurts to help them get to the Super Bowl again. He has to snap, and that's just the offensive coordinator and Jalen just got to figure it out. Go ahead, big homie. My bad.
Oh, y'all good. Go ahead. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Oh shit,
that's absolutely fine, man. Yeah, no, that's all I got on the Jalen Hurts, man. We're just gonna see within the season what he produces. I mean, but he still does win, though, right? What has he been doing?
He's been winning.
Wrong.
Right. He look a little bit
where's his
different.
inconsistencies?
Rita's right.
He look a little different this year, but he's still right. He's still all right.
He all right, but he doesn't look like he is as confident in the offense as he was. Like he doesn't look like he's like, ooh, I'm gonna throw it and just throw it like 40 yards to somebody. Like that's how it was last year. They had a high powered offense. Now this year they have and it's weird. They were the best run team and also one of the best passing teams. This year they're still one of the best running teams, but they're like less on the passing side. And that's what I mean. I think it's the offensive play calling is different. It's very different. It's not like it was last year where they like, yo, we're going for it on 4th and 1, or like, oh, we're going to go for it on 4th and 5 at the 45-yard line. Why the fuck we going for it? We could just kick it. Why not? We got the best receivers in the game. That's how they look at it, but it's different. The concepts are different, but give them time. I say by week 8, that offense is going to be clicking. As long as that defense stays healthy, they're going to be kicking ass. That's going to be a hard team to beat for anybody.
Okay. All right, guys. We're going to flip it, and we're going to talk about something else. We're going to flip it to the next topic, and now we're going to talk about Jim Trotter and how he's suing the NFL for racial discrimination. He was just fired recently. If I can read this quote real quick from CNN Business, he says, the NFL has claimed it wants to be held accountable regarding diversity, equity, and inclusion. I tried to do so, and it cost me my job. I'm filing this lawsuit because I can't complain about things that are wrong if I'm unwilling to fight for what is right. He said that he did ask Roger Goodell, why do we not have more black people in the offices, in the front offices? Why don't we have more black coaches? He asked him this last year, and Goodell said that he'll get back to him on it. And now it's this year, and he asked the same question. Trotter asked the same question to Goodell, and I guess Goodell got tired of it, and he was just like, "Okay, you know what? You're fired. You're out of here." And that's how this lawsuit came about. I want to get you guys' reaction on the lawsuit and how you feel about this. Also, one more thing. Stephen A. always has something to say. He didn't say anything to the negative on this, but he did say, if you speak to your boss or annoy your boss that way, or throw some tough curves or curve balls at your boss, you can expect to lose your job. And that's exactly what happened in Trotter's situation. But what do you guys feel about that? What do you guys feel about what Stephen A. said? Should he have keeping his mouth shut? Fearless, well, you know what? Let me start with Rita. Rita, I'm gonna start with you. How do you feel about everything that's going on with this lawsuit? That Jim Trotter. put down?
Man, so when I was digging into it, I didn't really know this was like going on. But representation matters. And it's just such an important piece of any type of industry, not just football, but representation in any leadership position. You need to see that, and it's hard being the only in the room. It is
Mm.
very hard. I used to be the only in the room, and now my job has gotten quite diverse in these last like year, and I'm going to say this last year. I've been with them for 12. So take that with a grain of salt. But it's just hard being the only in the room because you feel like you can't just turn to somebody and be like, give a look. Because we have our own like
Mhm.
flag and we have our
Language.
own
Yeah.
language that's spoken.
Yeah.
So when he said that he didn't see any black journalists in the I think it was like some type of like uh not Columbine, whatever the fuck you call it, where they meet up together and all that.
The combine.
It was no black journalists, none. And he said, where's the representation? And then they said something like his agent or whatever was just like, oh, well, can you handle it? And he was like, no, I can't relate to none of these motherfuckers in here. So it just makes sense. And then a week later, he got the memo saying that his contract was going to get renewed. Now, one thing about contract work is that it is temporary. Let's not forget, it's temporary. Contractors, you do go ahead, you handle your contract. Sometimes it gets renewed, sometimes it don't, and then you'd be forced to move on. Now, the thing is that if you don't give the precedence ahead of time, saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna renew your contract," there's no biggie, and then all of a sudden you're gonna flip the script because all this other racial shit came up. It's a little suspect. So I think he does have a case, but it's going to be very hard to prove. You're dealing with some billion-dollar lawyers. I don't think you have any billion-dollar lawyers, but we'll see how it plays out. But it's just a sticky situation altogether. But we'll see. We'll see how it ends up.
All right, Phyllis, what do you feel about it, man? How do you think? Do you think he has a case? Do you think this is going to get anywhere? And do you think he should have kept his mouth shut?
I don't think he should have kept his mouth shut. He seems to me to be more worried about trying to advance people of color into positions rather than his job.
Right.
So he asked. So let me ask you guys a question. Or I'll ask you a question, big homie Wayne. I ask you a question because I know Rita's answer to this question already.
Okay.
But I'm gonna ask you, big homie Wayne, then we'll talk about that. So let's say that me and you were in like a corporate job event, the biggest one of the year. Like let's say that we're in like the yearly event and they asking questions. They do asking questions from the crowd. And your question is, what y'all gonna do about hiring more black people in the executive office? And then he gives you his regular PC answer, right? And then next year, you do the same shit at the same event. But your contract is coming up. And he gives you the same answer, like, yeah, we tried, we're gonna keep working on it. Whoop de whoop. What you think gonna happen to you, Wayne? You think you're gonna get your contract renewed when you keep embarrassing this man on and give you context? He asked those questions, y'all, during the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl scrum. This is everywhere, worldwide.
Right.
And he now everybody know worldwide that the NFL Network ain't got no black people.
Well, that's exactly it. What better place to do that in?
Right.
You know what I mean?
If you say that, you expect, to Stephen A. Smith's point, you expect to be like, yo, I'm probably not going to get this job. And that's the reason why he didn't get his contract renewed and then he automatically got another job at the Athletic, because this Jim Trotter is one of the best journalists in like all of journalism, not just sports bullshit. So I think he knew that he was falling on a sword. And I think that this lawsuit is very deep because this lawsuit also says that other NFL owners have said racist comments that he's heard.
Yeah.
Example, Jerry Jones said, per the lawsuit, that if they want to have higher positions in teams, black people need to just buy their own goddamn team.
Yeah.
Like we all got $1 billion, like we got $6 billion. Like we have that capital laying around. And then another the coach of the owner of the Buffalo Bills, he said some other like remarks that were kind of like racially charged, and it's all in a lawsuit. But my point is this about the lawsuit: I don't think the lawsuit is going to go anywhere because Jim Trotter probably knew his ass is grass, and he's doing this to expose more things. But I think what this lawsuit does is that it adds another, and it pulls back another layer of the NFL and their issues with hiring people of color. That's what this really does. He ain't gonna win this fucking lawsuit because he knew he was gonna lose this goddamn job. But he is exposing, because that's the power of this. That's what he wanted to do. That's why he asked those questions. That's why he was ready to rock. And I think that, to answer your question, I think that's what's going on.
So what is exposing going to do now?
It's going to add. It's adding another layer, because you got to think about Brian Flores. We talked about that last year, big homie Wayne. Brian Flores, him saying that they were trying to incentivize him to lose so he could be another black coach with another losing record. He said, I ain't going for that bullshit. I came here to win. See, that's the thing. And this is funny, but I'm being honest. Y'all need to hire motherfuckers like me. If you want to lose, hire Jimmy B. Fearless. I will fuck that team up good.
Jimmy.
If you stop hiring these self-righteous, powerful black men, hire a sellout. I'm selling out. Give me a couple million.
Man.
Fuck this team. Fuck this record. Fuck all of this bullshit. But for real, you hire black people and don't think we have any integrity. You don't think that we are going to voice our opinion. You don't think that black people are going to notice they're the only ones in the room. You think we quiet? This ain't the fucking 1800s in this bitch.
Right.
We can't wait to snap now. We can't wait to go off, nigga. So that's what this is about. That's the power of this. It's just another thing. It's another thing. And I promise you, this shit keep going wrong, you're going to see an NFL strike. I promise you. Motherfuckers going to be like, yo, fuck this shit. People will do it. They strike before. You can see the auto industry just striked. The 150,000
They did, yep.
Like, these motherfuckers ain't playing. USPS or UPS, they was about to strike. People are not playing. They not with the shits. And this is just another layer until we get equal representation, or at least given a chance. So I think that's the point of this lawsuit, big homie.
I got you. Okay. Rita, do you have anything else to speak on when it comes to Jim Trotter in this, or, him possibly should have maybe kept his mouth shut?
Nah, I mean, we always got to advocate for ourselves. We got to advocate for inclusion. So no, like, let it be known, let it speak out. Because that's what the thing is that the reason why this has been happening for so long, because we didn't have enough advocacy for ourselves. So fuck that.
Yo, and he got another job in like I think a day or some shit. Like, he got another job. So I'm going off. If I know I can get another job in a day, bitch, I'm about to snap in these meetings. I don't give a fuck who's Super Bowl it is.
Too many people have been quiet and just let shit ride. Nah, we beyond that now.
Yeah. It's too many opportunities for us now. We can get an equal opportunity. So yeah, man, that's the power of giving us opportunities. Now we can speak because we know there's another opportunity right there waiting for us. So I'm gonna talk my shit all day. But there's one thing I always have to say, and 48 Laws of Power, big homie, he thinks that that's the black man's curse. But they always say one key thing, and this is actually Sun Tzu said this as well: never outshine your master until you're ready to, like, cut off their head. You know what I'm saying? That's some old shit. And that's the reason why I think that if he didn't file the lawsuit, but he kept doing this, I think it would have been okay. But him filing the lawsuit, it gives it more power because he's taking on an entire industry, but he's not alone. It's all of us with him. And we all know the bullshit. So it was a smart move. But if he was trying to keep that contract, big homie, he should have shut the fuck up. He could have had that one-on-one conversation, not do it during the Super Bowl. Yeah. That's what I would have did. I would have just pulled him aside. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have did it during the Super Bowl unless I had some shit set up. Between y'all. True, but other people said they had conversations with him. They're trying to work on it, but this is the way he went about it. He's not wrong, but him trying to win a lawsuit, that's not going to happen. Personal opinion. I think he's going to lose that lawsuit, y'all.
Okay.
That's a really powerful topic. I love talking about that. And thank you for your expertise, Rita, because I know you've been in your professional industry longer than me and big homie Wayne, and you have achieved a lot. So you've been in those rooms where you like, damn, I'm not only the only woman in this bitch, I'm the only woman of color. I'm the only person of color. How does that make your butt pucker up? Like,
I felt like the dude from fucking It's Lonely at the Top came out with the album It's Lonely at the Top. Moving on.
Who the fuck is that?
Remember the movie 5 Heartbeats?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I know I can't. I'm Sarita's fucked up stats, literally all the time.
Yeah.
We love it.
We love it, and we are going to flip the topic one more time. Last topic, guys. We got football Sunday coming up. One of the matchups, we have the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. So we have Lamar Jackson versus what's his name? Burrow.
Joe Burrow, nigga.
Yeah. Regular Caucasian name Burrow. I'm on ESPN now, and they pretty much have this split down the middle with the Bengals coming up 51%. Is this really going to be that close of a game? Is Joe Burrow to be matched up with the Lamar Jackson? You know what I mean? Like, is this really going to be a close game? What do y'all think? Rita, I'll let you go first. What do you think?
I think so because the Bengals, I think they lost last week, so they're going to be on a rampage. But the Ravens, oh my God. Every time I look at the Ravens, I feel like it's like Space Jam where you're playing the monsters. Those motherfuckers are so big and they just like mutilated last week. So I was just like, oh my God. So they're going to probably keep that same monster energy. I think it is going to be kind of close. I'm not saying that Lamar Jackson is like prime time or anything, but he throw the ball and he got a hell of a line. He got a hell of offense and his defense is incredible. So we're going to see. I think it's going to be Space Jam-ish. Burrow, I don't know if he's going to pull an upset. I don't know. I think the safest bet would be to make it even, honestly.
All
right, Phyllis, what do you think, man? Who do you think is going to win the game? Do you think that this is going to be a good matchup? And do you think they are equal? Do you think they're equal?
I think they're an equal team. I do think the Bengals are going to win. The Bengals. QBs? Yes. Yeah, I do. Yep. I actually think that Joe Burrow is better than Lamar Jackson, personally.
Ooh, okay.
He's a way better passer. But of course, Lamar Jackson is athletic as fuck. So he'll just run the bitch. He ain't got to pass dick. Like, so he can just run. You know what I'm saying? And Joe ain't running. Joe was running like me out that bitch. Like, them little legs be kicking. But they ain't fast enough. He going to get fucked up. So Joe is an elite pinpoint passer and great decision maker. His kryptonite is the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns whoop that ass. The team that he becomes Superman on is the Ravens. He always kicking the Ravens' ass. So I expect the same thing. I expect the Bengals to go in there. Certainly, like Rita said, after having the loss, they're going to go fuck the Ravens up. And this is the one thing that we keep talking about. The Ravens, they always have a good Lamar Jackson until he get hurt, right? I'm expecting he's going to be good this year. He got his contract. He should be fine. They got OBJ on that team. If y'all didn't know, OBJ's on that team. I watched the whole game, actually. Like literally, I watched Red Zone and then I watched the game by itself because I wanted to see how Lamar Jackson looked. And that offense looked like shit. That offense, I know they beat the Texans. That offense is whack.
Yeah, it wasn't like up there, echelon, like high echelon thing. It was just like it was the defense, and then it's the Texans, and they were just fucking up the whole time. So yeah,
Texans don't got nobody, nigga. Like they got Wayne that linebacker, read a defensive tackle.
Yeah, and fucking the Ravens actually like took a chunk out of CJ Stroud. Like they bit him every time they tackled him. It was fucking ridiculous. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was. It was a dominant. That's the thing. The Ravens have a dominant defense, but their offense is still trash. And they have a new offensive coordinator too. New offensive coordinator, so they need time to gel. They're running a college offense in the NFL. I hate it. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. So my point is that the Bengals should be able to win this game. They're coming off of a loss. The Bengals, they're okay with going 0-2, but they always beat the Ravens. So I think they're gonna go ahead and get back into the win column. The Ravens are gonna go 1-1. So this division is gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough. But yeah, I see the Bengals winning this one nice and good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good win. Probably 14 points.
Okay.
What do you think?
Now
you looking like nah?
yeah. I'm on Lamar's side, bro. But I don't know. I know you're a bigger football guy than me, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like Lamar got
might
this
snap. You could be right.
Is Joe Burrow the one who said that he could read the other team's plays?
No, that was Baker Mayfield.
Okay, I'm getting my white boys mixed up. My bad. I apologize. That's my fault right there, man.
They both did play in Cleveland, so I'm not getting mad at you. But one is about 5 inches taller than the other one, by the way. So,
Baker, Burrow, one of them dudes. All right. Okay. So, one of them guys, man. Okay, man. So I think that's it, man. We have another exciting weekend of football coming up, and we're going to have another full list of topics for you guys next week. I believe we could do this again. We could do another live, and we can give you guys our predictions. Again, we are YFM Sports, okay? I'm Big Homie Wayne. To the left or right of me, you have Jimmy B. Fearless. And to the left or right of me, you have Rita from Rita's FCKED Up Stats. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please, YFM Sports on everything. We are on Twix. We are YFMSports.com. Yeah, Motoropa.us. That's
YFMSports.com. YFMSports.com. That's where everything at.
YFM Sports. Okay, because you can't go to our site. Yeah, YFMSports.com is where we are. We have a great blog there. You can get yourself a nice hat or a nice T-shirt. And we'll just keep you in the loop of everything that's going on with us. You guys, we're on YouTube. That's what's most important. You guys find us there, YFM Sports. We're always dropping something. We're always leasing something. It's going to be wrestling. It's going to be football. It's going to be the WNBA. We have it all for you. Okay. Do you guys have anything else to say before we get out of here?
Guys, make sure you make sure you subscribe. Rita's going to be covering the Falcons and the Texans this entire year. So definitely subscribe for Rita's FCKED Up Stats. It's talking about both teams. Make sure I'm covering just random topics in the NFL, most important topics. And if you check out the comment section for the live, if you're watching it, recapping it, you can see our merch at yfmsports.com. You can also see my predictions from my show, Hear Me Out, where I predict every team's win record. I'm trying to tell y'all, I might end up becoming a sports bettor in this bitch if I keep being right.
Yeah.
I'm about to start my own fucking money line in this bitch because I'm doing good. Usually these motherfuckers, these bettors be 51%. That be their win rate. I'm up to 60, so fuck with your boy. I'm doing it, motherfucker. I'm about to start my own shit. But thank y'all for watching. We appreciate y'all. Much love. Be blessed, and YFM Sports, man.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it. See you next time.
Okay, bye.
Oh, bye. She said bye. Here's the baby.
That was so cute. That was cute.
Oh, you got that. Oh,
she said bye.
Yeah, we got